Hi, guys. Hey, everybody. Y'all came in. Okay. Hey. Hello, everybody. Hey, all right, you in the building, sister. I see you. Everybody come in and do a little something on the internet that is free. I am going to put the link in the chat. We are streaming from Facebook and YouTube. One of our lovely sisters is going to come on and share her testimony with us. All right. I don't want to take over nothing. I just want to sit here and get educated right along with everybody. So I'm going to pin it at the bottom, Tanya, and you can come on whenever you're ready. Hey, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hey. So, everyone, please share. Look at. Okay, what happened? What happened to my little foofadoop? That's my foofadoop. Everyone, please come in and share. I am going to, y'all can hear me, right? That is our opening that we have for RoAsia Speaks. Now, we haven't done a RoAsia Speaks in a while. Let me talk to y'all about this while we wait for Sister to come on. We haven't done a RoAsia Speaks in a while, and it is because no one has really came about to say, hey, I want to share my testimony with whatever illness it is that I am dealing with. It hasn't really been anyone. So I was excited to find out that Sister wanted to share her testimony thus far. So anybody is welcome. I know, like I've stated to you guys before, that of course, RoAsia Foundation, we base off of sickle cell disease. However, any other underlying illness that you don't think that is put on the forefront, I'm sorry, you guys, now my head is kind of like itching, that isn't put on the forefront, like cancer or different forms of cancer and things like that, we need to begin to bring awareness to. There are several illnesses that either we have a lack of knowledge of, because, or some of them you just never have heard about. So I'm going to add Sister to the screen. She is here. And I will put questions on the screen like we normally have done prior before. And we're going to go from there. Okay, guys? So if y'all ready, put some hearts in the chat. Hey, sister.
Hello.
How are you today?
I am well. I'm a little bit nervous because this is my first time really talking about um my diagnosis. So one of the things that I've always wanted to do is to share my story because there is so much to me, I get on Facebook and I laugh and I joke because that's my personality. I love people. But I also have a story behind me. And for a long time, I wouldn't share my story. I was very selective, or I would be in the back because I like to be in the back. I don't like to be in the front. That's never been me. That's not me. But I realize that in everything that I've gone through in life, it's a testimony behind it. And I've survived a lot of things, and some things that I am still dealing with. Um, I've been sick for quite a long time. I
Mhm.
didn't know what actually was going on with me because it was always told to me that it's arthritis, it's arthritis, it's arthritis, it's arthritis. No matter where I ever went, it was generically, it's just arthritis, take ibuprofen, rest, da da da, this and da 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 that. Even with me having insurance, it was always arthritis. So, um, I started off, I think in like 2016, 17, I ended up having plantar fasciitis, which is it's a very painful, achy feeling that starts off in your foot, in the heel of your foot. And it's like you standing on a knife. The pain will take you to your knees. So I was going back and forth to the doctor with that. Still, here we go with arthritis. One day I failed. And when I failed one day, I lost the feeling on my right side. I didn't know what had happened. I couldn't get up. And good thing someone was in the room with me because at this time I was staying in the hotel. Um, and I'm gonna get into that story one day. I'm gonna share that story as well. But I was staying in a hotel, and good thing someone was in the room with me when I fell because all I remember, I went to the sink, and next thing I know, I was on the floor. So somebody came in and they, helped me get off the floor. So I ended up, make a long story short, I went to the doctor, and they did some X-rays, and they diagnosed me with lumbar radiculopathy. Well, it went from the plantar fasciitis to the lumbar radiculopathy, from the lumbar radiculopathy till they found out that I had degenerative disc disease. So they gave me, lumbar radiculopathy, degenerative disc disease in my back. Well, last year in September, I had gotten ill and I didn't know what was going on with me. I had been telling, one of my children, I said, something is wrong. I said, because I can't stay focused. I'm agitated. I said, something is going on and I cannot describe. I don't know what's going on with me. But I know that there's a shift. I know something is wrong with me. I don't feel like me. You know you better than anybody. And I
Absolutely.
started noticing that me being at work every day, I was getting agitated. I was groggy. I wasn't sleeping at night. I was hurting 80% of the time. I was lashing out. I was just going through a lot and I could not understand what was going on with me. And I started panicking and I started becoming afraid because I knew something was going on, but I could not describe it and I couldn't make sense of it. So my daughter told me, she said, well, Mama, maybe you need to go to the doctor and talk to the doctors about it. I said, well, I'm going to go to the doctor. So lo and behold, one day I went to get up and my heart was hurting real bad. And I
Mm,
thought I was having a heart attack. And I was like, Lord, I can't be having a heart attack. Please don't tell me I'm having a heart attack. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. I can't be having a heart attack. And I laid in the bed long enough for the pain to start easing up a little bit. And I got up to go use the restroom. And when I stood up, it's like I was walking on clouds. And it's like I was walking, but I remember going to the bathroom, but I don't know what happened because I had to start holding on to stuff to get to the bathroom. And I had a family member that was here with me, and she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." I was holding on to the wall. I said, "Yeah, I think I'm okay." She said, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah." And I came out the bathroom and I sat in the chair. I said, I'm finna call my doctor now because something is wrong.
mm-hmm,
This is not arthritis. This is not, this is not, something is wrong going on here. And I know something, I'm not crazy. I
mm-hmm,
called my doctor. So when I went to the doctor, did blood tests and everything, come to find out I had a vitamin D deficiency.
mm,
My
mm,
vitamin D was so low that it wasn't even registering on the graph. It was an 8, and that's extremely low. So my primary care doctor, she said something. She said for it to be this low, something is going on somewhere, and we're gonna have to find out where it's at. She said because usually, it could be like in the lower 20s, right at 20. We'll look at that as being kind of low, and you can get over the counter vitamin D. She said, but for yours to be an 8, is something going on somewhere, and
mm-hmm,
we got to find out where it's at. So she started sending me out to different doctors, and I ended up going to a rheumatologist.
mm-hmm,
When I went to the rheumatologist, they did the blood work and everything. And the rheumatologist, when I got there, and this is like February, March, I'm going a little bit fast, but I'm gonna go back.
mm-hmm,
But when I got there, I was an emotional roller coaster. I just broke down and started crying, and that had been me from September to March. I was just crying. I couldn't get my emotions together. Mentally, I was having memory fogs. I couldn't remember nothing. I couldn't keep up. I couldn't stay focused. I was just all over the place. I was lashing out at my kids, lashing out at the dog, the cat, the flowers didn't bloom. I was fussing at them. I was just all over the place. And I could not describe what was going on to anybody.
mm-hmm,
So lo and behold, in March, I was diagnosed with Sjogren's syndrome and fibromyalgia.
Okay.
So fibromyalgia is common. It's quite more common than Sjogren's. I was kind of taken a bit back when she said Sjogren's because I was like, who? She said
Yeah.
it's called Sjogren's. I said, what is Sjogren's? So generically, she just stated that Sjogren's is an autoimmune disease and it affects your glands.
Mm.
And basically, that's all she said at that moment. It affects your glands. But going back to September, I had got sick. When I got sick, when I went to the primary care doctor, I got sicker in October. And I
Okay.
was so sick in October that I couldn't breathe. It hurted. It would hurt my chest just to breathe, just to talk, just to be able to raise up my head. It will hurt my chest. It's like I had a cough and I was wheezing. Like I just couldn't even describe it. It felt like bricks were sitting on my chest. And every day I was like, this can't be my bronchitis because I suffer with bronchitis.
Mm-hmm.
But, I go to the emergency room, I get treatment, it's over with. They put me on a steroid, it's over with. But when
Mm-hmm.
I tell you from October, the end of October up until the beginning of December, I was having problems with my bronchitis. I went to the doctor and they had to give me two treatments back to back in my primary care office, doctor's office. I had to
Mm-hmm.
have two treatments in order for me to leave because of the way I was breathing.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized that when she diagnosed me with Sjogren's, that was a flare up that I was having. Because what happens with Sjogren's, and Sjogren's is an autoimmune disease. It affects your saliva glands, your eye. You have dry eye and you have dry mouth. And I was suffering and I was having those problems years prior to me being diagnosed. I
Mm-hmm.
went to the eye doctor one day and she said, well, she said, have you ever heard of dry eyes? And I was like, no. She said, well, you have dry eyes. She wrote me a prescription. I didn't think nothing else of it. I just took the prescription and went ahead, and I noticed that I would start, my mouth would dry out. It would dry out. It would dry out. It would dry out. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
going on, because ain't nobody said anything. Ain't nobody, everything is arthritis.
Mm-hmm.
Generically, every doctor is arthritis. Everything. I went to the dentist. I was told that I need to be checked for acid reflux. Everything is just generic. But everything was beginning to come together when I went to see the rheumatologist in March.
Okay.
And all of the symptoms that I had been having for almost 2 years, it's no longer, it's no telling how long I had been walking around with the symptoms and never knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Even the conversation that I had with my rheumatologist when we talked about the plantar fasciitis, that was a part of it. So here it is now, and Nikki and Iris Squad, and whomever else is listening, I am a testimony. I mean, this is my testimony because out of all that I've gone through, out of all that even now, I have a job, but I'm not even able to work. I can't, it's just a lot. It's a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thankful to God because I know that if it was not for my faith, my trust in Him, and me believing and standing on His word, I would have committed suicide.
Wow.
And that's just keeping it 100. Because, you know, we look at people from the outside and we think because people are smiling that they are
It's
okay.
okay. Yeah.
And that's not true. That's not true. To see me, you would never think that I have, and there are some other underlying medical issues that I have.
Mm-hmm.
But I stay focused. I keep praying. I've learned what my triggers are. Stress is not good for children.
Mm-hmm.
Stress is not good for fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia, it attacks your bones and your joints. And
Mm-hmm.
you're easy to have a flare with fibromyalgia. To me, this is me. Children's takes more of an effect on me than fibromyalgia
Mm-hmm.
because I've dealt with pain for so long. I've basically become numb to a sense. The
Mm-hmm.
difference between Sjogren's and fibromyalgia is I stay tired a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I,
Okay.
I don't sleep good at night. Sometimes I can go to bed and I can sleep for 30 minutes. I sleep an hour. I don't know if it's the children's. I don't know if it's the sleep apnea. I don't know if it's the fibromyalgia. But a lot of days when I wake up in the morning, I'm agitated. I'm groggy. I'm upset because I haven't slept. I've tossed and turned all night because one thing with arthritis and fibromyalgia, when you're in constant pain, you have to get where you can get comfortable. And that's a struggle within itself.
Absolutely.
So, with all of this, if it wasn't for my faith, and I'm just keeping it real, I'm very transparent. There are days when I've sat here, and if it wasn't for RoAsia Foundation, if it wasn't for the cousins, if it wasn't for the people that I have became friends with, and basically family, because family sometimes is not blood. You'll be
Right.
surprised. My blood family knows what goes on. They don't call. They don't ask me, do you need a chicken biscuit? They don't, do you need a Coca-Cola? There have been times because I'm not able to work, short-term disability, that's a whole new different thing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
having to try to get an attorney now because in their world, they're looking at where you're able to sit here and take calls all day.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not able to sit here and take calls all day. Because
Mm-hmm.
I sat here and did some research before I even got on here. And I got tired doing that because one thing about me, I like to do things in decent and in order.
Yeah.
Somebody may want to know what is the medical a part of children. What are the symptoms? So I want to be able to tell people because that's what my page is about. I created my page. I turned it over to a content creator page because I want to be able to tell my story of how days have been. I have sat here some days and didn't know how I was going to pay my light bill, didn't know how I was going to eat, didn't know how I was going to be able to make it, didn't know how I was going to be able to get my medication. It's a journey. It's a journey. It's not an overnight thing. And that's the reason why there are days when I have to say, Lord, it's in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing I can do. It's nothing I can do. My kids, they are adults. They're trying to live their life. Some days, they may come in and say, Mama, do you want a glass of water? I have to stay drinking something. I have to, I have to eat candy to keep my saliva going. Because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, the worst thing that can happen with me and to me, and I pray every day, God, please do not let these people diagnose me with lymphoma because that's what children's can. Not 9 times out of 10, it will.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the end results will be: lymphoma. So far, so far, I have not been diagnosed. Every time I get tested, that the results come back, everything is fine. It's just my sedation rate, which is inflammation, because I have these autoimmune disease and arthritis. It
Mm-hmm.
stays up, which
Mm-hmm.
is expected. About a month or so ago, I had to go to the emergency room. I was having migraines for 2 weeks, and the migraines is a part of the children's. So it has been a battle. But I just want to encourage someone today to stay focused no matter what you're going through.
Ooh.
Stay focused, stay pressed, keep going. Don't give up. Don't, whatever you do, don't give up. It may look, some days there's partly cloudy, maybe showers. Some days I have wanted to throw in the towel. Some days, if it was not for God, if it wasn't for God, I'm telling you, there have been days when I just didn't know as a human what to do.
Yeah.
And when you open up your mailbox, you got bills packed stacked up. You know, my doctor, my rheumatologist, they called me last week and told me I had to pay my balance in order for me to go back come to my next appointment. It's like some days I said, God, all I can do is trust you now. I don't understand this path. Some days it's partly cloudy, maybe showers. Some days, Lord, I just don't know. But I'm so thankful that every day I wake up, God give me another chance. And
Yeah.
I just told somebody today, I said, this is going to be my testimony. My page will be my journey. As I go, I'm going to sit down and start journaling every day because every day it's a different pain, it's a different issue.
Yeah.
There's no 2 days the same. Some days I can wake up and I have a headache so bad I don't even want to raise up my head. Some
Mm.
days my hip hurt, my back hurt, and then, it just be a combination of things. Some days, I come on RoAsia, I don't say anything because I just can't say anything. I just don't have nothing to say. But
Mm.
it be the motivation, it be the encouragement, it be the fact that there are people that will call and say, "Are you okay?" You got to have a support
Yes.
system in
Yeah.
everything that you do.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
got to
that is
have a
so
support
true.
system.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a support system, if you don't have somebody to encourage you and push you along the way, especially when you're dealing with any type of pain,
Ooh.
when you're dealing with, I deal with depression. Some days I don't want to wake up. Some days I just want to shut down. But there's a little voice that said, "Keep going, Tanya. Get up, get up, get up." Some days I go and wash the dishes. I have to go to bed because my back be hurting. I can only, it take me a whole day to clean up my room. And some day I can only clean up one side. But I'm determined to
Mm-hmm.
keep going.
I want to ask you, sister, because how? So that means that when were you diagnosed? It's recently, right? But
Hmm.
you don't know how long that you have been actually dealing with it. I had never heard. I was ignorant to it. I had no idea.
I
None.
I had I had no idea, Nikki. When I first went to see my rheumatologist, when we sat down, and at first she diagnosed me with fibromyalgia.
Mm-hmm.
She confirmed then it was fibromyalgia off the top,
Mm-hmm.
just off the top. But I had out. Let me go back. So some years ago, when I was just saying that it's always been arthritis, arthritis, arthritis. But when I went to a hospital here, one of our primary hospitals, Grady, the doctor
Mm-hmm.
at Grady had kept saying, "Well, we think it's fibromyalgia." I ended up getting commercial insurance because at that time I was working for State Farm. With
Okay.
State Farm insurance, I had Kaiser. The doctors at Kaiser is just like me diagnosing you. They ain't worth $2. I'm gonna be
Mm-hmm.
honest. They ain't worth $2.50.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent me to a rheumatologist. She was trying to say I didn't have rheumatoid arthritis, but the doctor had Grady had kept saying we thinking that it's fibromyalgia because you're these symptoms that you're having. But I ended up getting a job with commercial insurance. Went to Kaiser. Kaiser was talking about rheumatoid arthritis. Went to the rheumatologist. The rheumatologist said, "No, you don't have rheumatoid arthritis." I could have very well had Sjogren's then.
Back then, that is something that I think a lot of the illnesses that are not put up there that people are aware of, they go through that. Like, go to this doctor, go to that doctor. I'm gonna refer you to
Hmm.
this doctor. I'm gonna refer you
Hmm.
to that doctor, and then in the end, all you left with is a bunch of doctor visits and still nothing.
No diagnosis. And see, that's what happened is the fact that
Can't hear you. Wait a minute, y'all. Let me see why I can't hear
okay,
you. Okay, there you go.
can you hear me now? Okay.
Mhm.
Sorry about that. But
That's
it
cool.
when I was going to Grady, they that one thing about the hospital here in Grady, if you sick, you go to Grady, they gonna tell you what's wrong. Now you might have to go 100 times, but they gonna tell you what's wrong with them because Grady is a good health system. But
Mm-hmm.
I ended up with commercial insurance because I was working. And that's where the breakdown came from because all this long time, I still, I was having medical issues, all this stuff here. They was treating me for plantar fasciitis and degenerative disc disease, but they never went as far as to say, we need to continue to do some testing because I had one thing about the health systems, they can go in their systems and see what another doctor may have left off at, or
Yeah.
they can get your general information and start testing you from there. But Kaiser dropped the ball, and I'm not throwing no shade, but I'm just gonna tell you the truth now. Kaiser dropped the ball because had I already been knowing what was actually going on with me, it would have been further than it is now.
Mhm. Mhm.
You understand what
I
I'm saying?
agree. I agree.
It, it,
Yeah.
it would have been further, and I probably wouldn't be in the shape that I'm in now, because I would have been taking medication. I would have been, a whole lot of stuff that I'm dealing with now. Like I'm dealing with gastro issues with my stomach.
Now, do
Every little
you
thing
have
I
a
eat,
do you have a GI doctor?
they're sending me to one now.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
they're sending me to a gastro doctor now, because once again, the doctor at Grady, he had said he thought that I had IBS, but we never. Kaiser dropped the ball on that. So here it is now. I'm dealing with stomach issues. At least look, I can drink a Sprite and my stomach will bother me. So I'm not looking for it. I'm not looking for sympathy or empathy, but it's the reality of what my life is.
Yeah.
And in the end, I do believe that I'm going to be an overcomer.
I would, first of all, sister, to know that just coming over here for the platform helps. I I I thank God, because there are a lot of times when I just want to quit. You know what I mean? And I just say, you know what, forget, I go through these things mentally to try to keep a positive space mentally. People don't understand how hard that is when you are dealing with everyday life, when you are
Hmm.
dealing with chronic pain is real. I don't
It
care how
is.
you want to push it under the rug, sweep it in the closet, put out whatever. You can't put it in the cooler on the shelf. It is real. So to
It's
deal
not.
with
It's
that
not.
and deal with just everyday life, going to your mailbox, bills overloading, you don't know what's going on, people acting weird. I get it when you say you were at a point where if it wasn't for God, you would have took your life. People
I would
don't
have.
understand the magnitude of something as simple as a let's wake up with RoAsia, what it will do for somebody. And
It's true.
I, you made me think about my sister. I've witnessed her, you know, get bounced from here to there, from here to there. This doctor, that doctor, that doctor, that doctor. Sometimes it's the insurance. Sometimes, let's just be honest, it's the shade of what we are. It's just so many
Right.
different things that we go through, and people don't know unless you share them. So I want to just say thank you, because I feel like I need to go and see, like, is it a test to take to see if that is something that I may be dealing with. I have headaches. I have dry mouth at times. You know what I'm saying? We need to be educated, and the only way we
Yeah.
can be educated on illnesses that we know nothing about is for Tanya's to share with us, or we just won't never know.
We want, and honestly, I can't think now. Lupus runs in my family.
Mhm.
So far, they are testing me for lupus to make sure, because Children's is kind of sort of like the sister to lupus.
Okay.
I pray every day. I pray every day that lupus and lymphoma do not be my end result. Now, blindness is one of them because it affects your eyes.
Hmm.
There are days when when I'm reading something, I have to, cut the lights on and then get another light so I can see and put some glasses on. But overall, I just keep my faith, because I believe if God take me to it, He gonna bring me
He'll
through it.
bring you through it. Uh-huh.
If it's His will, and then it's His will.
But
But
what
I'm gonna
people
do
don't
everything.
understand is, even though believing that, you still need a support system.
You still
You know
need,
what I'm saying?
and you know what, and that's the reason why, you know I joke and I tease, and everybody. Low Lane told me today. She said, "You silly and you witty," and I said, "Everybody say that I'm silly. That's my personality. I have to make other people laugh so that I can be happy, because I
Hmm.
want everybody around me to be positive and to be happy. If you're negative around me, or if you sad around me, it draws me and makes me sad, and
Yeah.
it does something to me mentally.
Yeah.
Battling with depression is not easy. A lot of people, they hide depression, One of the things that I am going to do is advocate for mental health, because here in
Absolutely.
the state of Georgia, even with me having a job working for a medical insurance company, mental health is not a priority.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many people that need mental health resources. And in the state of Georgia, it's very limited.
Mm.
I work for a medical insurance company. And believe it or not, there are days where I've had to get on online health and try to find somebody that I could talk to, because it's at one of them dark moments. And they have taken me through, well, we're going to have to call you back, or you're going to get an email in 24 to 48 hours. Ma'am, I ain't got 24 hours. Ma'am, I ain't got 48 hours. Ma'am, I mean, because back in September, October, when my job did not pay me, and I'm sitting here like my rent is due, my lights finna get cut off, I mean, ma'am, I ain't got 48 hours, because,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am, I need help, right? I need you to tell me. I need somebody to talk to me, because here it is. I'm a very professional person. Have sat here at this desk and have had bowel movements, and I have had incontinence needs where I was hurting too bad to get up, because I'm sitting here taking care of a member on the line, and I've had to sit here in this chair for 3 and 4 hours in pain, and when I get up to go to the bathroom, I don't make it in time because I'm hurting and I'm aching. And you mean to tell me that all y'all think about for me is I'm just a number? And here it is, I need y'all to help me help myself so I can get up out this. Ma'am, I ain't got 24 hours. I ain't got 48 hours, ma'am. I need for you to find somebody that can talk to me to bring me out of this place and out of this space, because I'm at a point now where I don't know what else to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I had to reach out to the insurance company about my short-term disability, y'all sit here playing with me. I got bills. I got a family. Here it is, Christmas time. I didn't have nothing to give my grandkids for Christmas, and since my grandbabies have been here on this earth, I've always gave them something. And y'all sit here playing with me, and I don't have no income. What am I gonna do? See, people don't know when you on that edge. When you get on that edge, when you get to that edge, when humanly, yes, I love God. Yes, I trust God. Yes, my faith has been built through all of this. But
Yeah.
as a human, sometimes I don't need nobody to tell me to read the 23rd Psalm. Sometimes I need somebody to say, baby, come on, I got you. Baby, it's
Whoo,
going to be all right. I don't need
whoo.
nobody to tell me, because one thing about me, I can pray you out of coma, but I need somebody sometime to pray me out of coma.
Oh,
So I mean, let's keep it 100. See, one thing about me, I'm transparent and I'm real. And then when I go to God, I go to him just as I am. But Nikki, there are times when sometimes I need somebody to come and pat me on the back. Sometimes I need somebody to say, guess what? I got you. Guess what? And you be surprised. I have learned, my God, I've learned a lot since I've gone through this journey so far. People will say they will be with you,
whoo.
and when you look for them, they are gone. People can say, oh, you just putting on, or you gonna be okay, or you just saying this. No, that ain't always true. Because when you hurt it, and one thing, another one of my fears is because I got so much medication that they give me. I don't take the medication because I'm so scared I get addicted. Because I got a pill that'll help me go to bed. I got a pill to help me wake up. I got a pill to help me act normal. I got a pill that help me act the food. So I don't want my life to be dependent on a pill. I've come too far in life
You
for my
know,
life to be dependent on a pill. So I just realized a lot through all of this.
mm,
I've gone through some battles in life, and I've been sexually abused. I've been molested. I've gone through so much in life, and sometimes I ask God why. It's like as soon as I come out of one storm, I go in another storm. And I get to the point, I say, you know what, God, if it's your will to use my life, then help me build my testimony. If
Yeah.
it's your will, because that's what I love to encourage people. I was in church. See, you never know who you what the Bible said, you can entertain angels unaware.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever think that I got license to be a minister. And my license is right here. You might not can see it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like I got it. But you would never think that, because that's not how I want you to know me. I want you to know me, as Tanya, the real, unfiltered, unaltered Tanya, the real Tanya. And that's how I go to people. And that's how I've been able to minister to people. I see people at their lowest, and I take my life and I turn it around to encourage and motivate them. If I can raise two kids as a single parent, if I can go through the things I've gone through in life, when I talk about men, it's because at one point in my life, I thought I had to have a man to be somebody, to feel love, because I know what rejection is. I can go to other women and talk to them about rejection.
Shut
I've
your
never been a person, I can go in the whole house, the crack house, I can go in the
in the
White
house,
House,
huh?
I can go into
In the
any house,
house.
and I can sit down and play me a good hand of spades and talk more junk than
Hello.
anybody. But you can believe one thing, when I come up out of there, they gonna remember Tanya. They gonna remember me. They gonna remember me, because I'm not gonna sit in there and talk to them as a minister or as a mama. I'm not gonna judge them or condone them. What I'm gonna tell them, baby, I love you no matter what state you in, because I've been there. I know what it's like to lay next to a man and he don't think nothing no more of you than just using you. I know what it's like to give a man your everything because you love them, and then when they gone, you left all alone. I know what it's like.
I wanna share some with you because I I have sat up on a minute and said why, right? Like, Lord, why? I I I don't want this. I ain't asked for this. Why,
Yeah.
why, why have I seen so much? Why have I been through so much? Just why, why? I'm talking about question all the way down to if you love the love you did the words say you have for me, then why? And I remember at one point I was where you were. Mental health is really, really real.
Yes,
And
it
I
is.
promise you, God allowed me to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
I really do believe that He will allow us to be alone. One, to really, really understand who He is.
Mm-hmm.
Two, to understand the power that we have. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
us just limit ourselves on the power that we have within us. But again, if I'm feeling like I'm one flew over the cuckoo's nest, I'm not thinking about what I have. All I'm thinking about is ending. I There's a lack of mental support across the
Mm-hmm.
board until something tragic happens.
Yep.
Then I don't need you to fix something and I done already lost it. I think once I lost it, it'll never be the same. The
It'll never,
goal is
and it
I'm
won't.
reaching to prevent it, not to bring it back. So I'm listening to you, and that's it. That's the reason why. It's a type of favor that I don't think that words could ever explain. Because I've been in every type of atmosphere you could think of. To me, that
Mm-hmm.
I am, and I go in as who I am. But
Yep.
when I leave, somebody always remember who I am.
Yep. Who I am. That's it. That's it. Somebody always, even when I was at, I'm gonna say this right here. There was a time recently that I was homeless, and I went through a lot mentally when I was homeless, because when you go from having it all to basically having nothing, and when I say nothing, you are stripped of everything, everything. There were days that I didn't have money to pay for my hotel room. There were days when I didn't know how I was going to eat. There were days when I stayed over on Glenwood, and it's 285 by the hotel that I was staying in. And I used to some days sit and look at that look at that 285 the expressway, And I'd be like, you know what? I'm just gonna go and jump. I'm tired. And I
Ooh, baby.
remember one day I walked out of my room and I was so full. I said, God, I can't do it no more. And I just started screaming. And the lady told me, she said, call 211, baby. No, she said, call 311, baby. She said, call them and see what they could do to help you. And when the lady got on the phone, I Nikki, when I tell you I was so up there, the lady was talking to me and I don't even know what she said. And all I remember when she said, baby, calm down, baby. Just all I need for you to do is just breathe. Just start breathing in and breathing out. Just breathe. I just want to hear you breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. She said, all I need you to do is just breathe. And I started calming down and I started breathing. And when I started calming down and I started breathing, she said, I'm not going to leave you. She said, I'm going to get you the help that you need. She did all that she could to help me. But the end of the story was she gave me a referral to go to this organization. And I was on the bus one day. And on the bus, God began to show me what my next step would be. And I was sitting on the bus physically looking out the window. But God he showed me a vision of where my place was gonna be. I was sitting in the living room and the shears was hung to the window
Come
and the
on
wind
now.
was blowing, it was blowing real soft. And I kept saying, God, you got this for me, for me, for me. Lo and behold, I'm in my place now. I went from basically staying in a hotel room where God gave me favor with people to now I'm in a 3 bedroom, 2 bath townhouse.
Mm.
And God fixed it where I will have somewhere to lay my head as long as I do right. I've learned that when you put your faith in God today, when on RoAsia today, I was reading my Bible. This morning I woke up, God kept saying Psalm 67, Psalm 67, Psalm 67. And I was doing everything else, trying to post to try to get my page up, the numbers up so I can hopefully be monetized. I was just doing all kind of stuff this morning. But I was listening to you and God said Psalm 67. I said, I'm going to pick my Bible up. And I opened up my Bible. And when I opened it up, I started reading it. And it was talking about praising God. And when you praise him, and I got to the point, the verse in the Bible where it said, oh, and that thing just blew my mind. Because I was like, what do oh mean? And when you in pain, when you in excitement, you be like, oh. And I said, you know what? God, you get ready to do something. And you spoke it out of your mouth. When you spoke it out of your mouth, you said, God gonna do something today, and it's gonna be within RoAsia. I I had to lay down. I had to get over in the bed and lay down. I said, Lord, if you don't confirm your word, I started to throw my shoe out the window. I just don't know how I'm gonna get it back in the house. I Everything that happens in our lives is for a reason. And this is my testimony. And I want to encourage, I don't know who listening. I don't need to know your story, know your name. Keep going. Keep going. Every day is not going to be peaches and cream. The sun ain't going to shine every day. There are going to be some days it's going to be partly cloudy, maybe shower. There are going to be some days you want to snatch your hair out your head. You don't want the dog to bark, nor the cat to meow. Keep going. If you can't do nothing but apply just a little bit of pressure, just keep going. Because one thing I do know, God has not brought me this far to leave me now. He have not brought me this far. He have not brought me this far. I prayed a prayer a long time ago. I said, Lord, I don't want to know my grandmama testimony, my aunt's testimony, my mama, my daddy testimony. I want to have my own testimony. I want to know you as Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nissi, Jehovah Rahi. I want to know you as the great I am. And God began to take me through some hurdles in life that I could know him as my Jehovah Jireh, my provider. I know God as a healer because in 1992 I had hepatitis. I was pregnant with my son. The doctors had said my baby was going to be born stillborn. The doctor
Ooh,
said, we
shut
don't
up
know
now.
about you. My baby came in this world 8 pounds, 10 ounces, 22 inches long. My baby came in this world and every obstacle that he faced, he survived. My son went back to school. He dropped out of high school. He told me, he said, Mama, he said, I don't want them people to give me no GED. I don't want them people to give me no certificate. He said, I'm going to go back to school, Mom, because I want a high school diploma. Baby, when I tell you, when I laid in the hospital, and people told me that I had hepatitis. They said, Miss Woodall, I don't even know how your baby going to live. When they put me in the room, I said, Lord, I got one baby that's normal. I don't know what to do with a baby that's going to be retarded. I heard God say, if I feed the fowls of the air and clothe the green grass, why are you worried? I've never seen the righteous forsaken nor a seed begging bread. And when I got ready to have my son, he basically walked up out of me. I didn't even have to push. He came out. And when I tell you God has been with me since my baby been in the world. But see, people don't know the other side of the story because I was not in a relationship with his daddy. I was looking for love in all the wrong places and ended up with the wrong man and I got pregnant. And I went to have an abortion because I didn't want to have another child being a single parent. I got all the way to the abortion table. They was getting ready to stick the IV in, and the doctor came in and she said, Miss Woodall, we can't give you no abortion because you got hepatitis. I said, Hepa who? She said, hepatitis is an effect on your liver. She said, you need to go to the nearest emergency room. I went to the emergency room. When I got there, I didn't have no iron, no potassium, no calcium. I didn't have nothing in me. The doctor at Crawford Long Hospital, which is Emory now, that doctor told my mama while I was laying there, if she'd have waited another day, she wouldn't have made it. I went from 178 pounds to 95 pounds in 30 days. That's how bad the hepatitis was eating me up on the inside. My baby didn't have nothing. You can't tell me what God won't do.
Come on.
Nobody can tell me what God cannot do.
They cannot. And you know what, sister? It's so. First of all, when I was told that my youngest son was going to be born stillborn, I they
Lord
you know
Jesus.
they tell you, oh, this could happen, that could happen, that could happen, that could happen, that could happen, this could. There's so many things that could happen, and I for a minute I was just like, no, when's somebody gonna say I'm being punked? This ain't. I got 3 kids, good, fine, nothing wrong with them. Why my last baby? So I understand, like, Lord, what am I going? But I just said, okay, you know what? Now I'm going to. I'm letting go of everything, and I am giving everything to you. So I think that when we question, like, why God, is because He will put us in positions to show us exactly who He
Yeah,
is.
who
You and
he
I
is.
both have been put in positions where He has came and showed exactly who He
Who
is.
he is. Yes,
In
ma'am.
spite of, it does not matter. It does not. He is who He is. He is above, beginning, and all of that. And I think it gives me more of a sense where I'll be like, okay, all right, Lord. Well, I think I better be careful what I ask for, because if I ask you to show me, I don't get to dictate how you show me. I just know you're gonna show me.
Don't show you. That's right.
And I would not, if you would not have said it, I would not have ever thought it, thunk it, any of it.
Yes,
Any of
ma'am.
it at all. Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just, I'm in a wow space. And this morning, the affirmation, I don't know why people don't think that the Lord just won't, use me. All I got to do is be willing. You know what I'm
That's all
saying?
you got to do.
And I said, oh, something is, it's a miracle type of Monday. Something going to happen for somebody.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is the feeling that came over me. And then that last affirmation, oh, when I say coming here, as much as it does something for you all, it really, really helps me. I don't know why people think that it's like fairy tale land, or, I get on here and I'm smiling. I heard, I go through things. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. It's just about what you said. Either I'm going to give up and throw in the towel and never accomplish a thing. Then what about all of this time? It means that it's wasted. Everything that I push for, everything that I work for, all of that. But I also know what it is to be alone
Mm-hmm.
and have absolutely nobody in
Nobody.
your corner. That is the saddest space. But I have to say, had it not have been for that time in my life, I don't think I would have ever said, okay, Lord, I'm ready. I don't. I
Yeah.
really don't. Because he showed up. I went from almost 200 pounds to easy, $135 at my height. I was walking down. And we take on things, and it was merely I couldn't focus on nothing but my son. So you know what I'm saying? My focus is solely on my son. But in that same space, I heard the devil tell me to jump out the window.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like so many things transpire at one time, and to come out of something like that, I thank God for the ability to remember. Again,
Mm-hmm.
that's our mental health, right? The
That's
ability
right.
to remember so that when I do go through something else, because it's bound to happen, I can
Mm-hmm.
remember he got me through that. He'll
Yeah.
get me through this. It may
Yeah,
not
that's
be
right.
the same length of time. I'm hoping for a shorter length of time, Jesus. But if he did it before, he'll
He'll
do it.
do it again.
All right.
And he will. He and that's what keeps me motivated. Um, I was talking to Mama Pam, and I began to talk to her about Shona. She said, "What is that?" And we began to talk about it. She said, "I never heard of it." And I'm so thankful. What when you have been betrayed by people, you don't know who to trust. But one
Mm,
of the prayers that I pray is because I'm transparent and honest with myself about me. There are bridges that I have burned. And I should have went back and said, I apologize. I should have took accountability. But
mhm,
you make mistakes along the way. And that's part of being grown. That's part of growing. That's part of maturing. Is it
mhm,
when you can own up to it? So
mhm.
in my accountability piece of it, I ask God, now show me how to be a friend so that
Yeah.
I can gain a friend. Show me what it is about me that I keep attracting these people that don't mean me no good. It's something still in me that I need for you, Lord, to deliver me from so that I can show myself as a friend. And so far, when I tell you it's the outpouring, Low Lane, Mama Pam, Shy, when I tell you people, when I tell you they call Pauline, when I tell you how you doing, it's the little thing.
Do
Shy.
you feel like this? Do you feel like it's too good to be true? And I ask that because I find myself, because of how people do, I find myself still like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, one of the things with me is I ask God to give me a keener sense of discernment.
Hmm.
With the discernment, Lord, let me see people. Oh, excuse me. Let me see people. Let me see people in their in their genuine way, even in their flaws. Let
Hmm.
me still see them
Hmm.
because I'm not perfect,
Hmm.
and I realize people make mistakes.
Right.
People are not perfect. I can't
Right.
expect for you to be perfect, and I'm not perfect.
Right.
But let me be able to see them from a loving, caring place. And
Mm-hmm.
if they come in my life to mistreat me, to use me, to abuse me, move them people out my life. Don't
Oh,
let me
that's
get
great.
attached to them.
Mm-hmm.
Let me still be cordial to them. Let
Mm-hmm.
me still love on them, but still don't let me get because one thing I'm very protected.
Mm-hmm.
When I love, I love. When I love hard. That's my downfall. As
Yeah.
a child,
Yeah.
my mom used to always tell me, you just got to be with people. Somebody can say you fry ice cream on a hot summer day and you a fall full and the ice cream is going down your arm and you still believe them. You still believe that they tell you the ice cream's still on the cone. You still standing up holding the ice cream and going on down your arm. You just believe in people. And that, my mom used to fuss at me all the time about that. But
Mm.
it took me to get my heart tore up plenty of times.
Oh, baby.
It took people to, when I say people, family, I mean, when I tell you betrayal, men betrayed me. When I tell you betrayal, baby, that's a conversation we can have on another day because I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it's deep. But I'm at a point now where, Lord, if they're not genuine, please don't let my heart become so weak.
Yes.
If somebody can walk up to me and tell me I don't have nothing to eat, I'm gonna run try to find them something to eat.
Oh,
If
yeah.
I don't have it, I'm gonna call somebody. When I was homeless in the hotel, there were days I didn't have money to pay for my room, but I was trying to
Now for
call agencies to
somebody
help
else.
somebody else, and I need to help myself. I'm saying my daughter told me one day, she said, "Mom, how you just went and got that lady stuff and put it in your room, and you ain't even got the money for your room? How you that lady stuff gonna get locked up in your room? You ain't." I said, "Well, if she needed that thing, I'd rather for it to be in my room than to be sitting outside somebody steal it." I mean, I'm busy trying to help this lady, and she ain't got the money for her room, and I ain't got the money for my room, but I let her put her stuff in my room, because I'm trying to help somebody, and
We
that's the thing.
we did a it was on one of our Wake Up with RoAsia's or Sheila Give It To Me. It was a quote, and I may not say it correctly, but it was like, when you have nothing and you set aside and you still make way for somebody else.
Hmm.
I know I'm not saying it right, but that just touched my soul because I do believe in, the self-love, self-care, all that. But I cannot take that I don't want to take that part away from me that I am. What I found out for the past couple of years, my prayer is to continue to show me, but also prepare me because of the fact that I go in giving it all. But that does not mean that giving it all is deserving to everybody that I come into their path. And so, in the space that I'm in, when I have my moments, those are moments because of I know who I am and what I will give to the next person. And it's
Hmm.
it's not about the return, it's just about the fact that it is just that many people that don't care.
They don't care. And see, the thing of it is, one of the things that I want, and I'm asking God every day to do in my life, is that when I leave here, I want to be able to leave generational wealth for my
Hey,
grandchildren.
yes, baby.
I do, and it's so much it's so many layers of things that I could talk about. But my daughter has kids, and I try to be that grandmama, and I spend time with my grandkids or whatever. But one thing that I'm very adamant about is breaking generational curses.
Yes.
And one of the generational curses is that I want to go back to college and show my grandkids that no matter how old you are, you can go back to school. And I want to
Absolutely.
graduate, to give them the dream or to give them the momentum to go to school. Then on top of that, when I leave here, I don't want my daughter to be here struggling with my kids. And that's one of the reasons why, even back then when I was working, I knew that my body was not going to be able to uphold and working on a job full time for long. I knew that. because I had already been having health issues. And I already see every time I get a job, I'm back to square one like I am
Mhm.
now. But I went back to work because I don't want my daughter to fail as a parent. I want my daughter to be able, as a single parent, to say, I got support, because it's not easy raising kids nowadays, especially single parents.
Yeah.
Our kids need diligence. Our kids need, now, they need support. Regardless as to what their life may be, they still need to know, I can call on mama. Mama gonna be there. Mama, dad, whoever the support system is. So
Yeah.
I've always told my daughter that no matter what, you're a single parent, but whatever I can do to help you with these kids, I'm willing to do. So a lot of me going back to work was to make sure that her and her kids would be okay.
Mhm.
So the thing is now with me, Lord, fix it. That when I leave up out of here, when it's all said and done, and when it's time for me to come home, don't let me leave here and my children be vagabonds, or my children and my grandchildren and my great grandchildren have to figure out how they go eat. Because I never want them to live like that. I
Mhm.
never want my grandkids, even though my grandkids saw me in the hotel when I was homeless, because they just like my drawers. They always on me. I'm just being real. They just like my drawers. They always on me. Every move I make, my grandkids in my face like
Uh-huh.
this. But you know what I'm saying? So I don't want my grandkids to ever get to a point where they grow up and they homeless. They don't know what it's like to not have food on the table. And that's my prayer. God, whatever you do in my life, fix it where my
Fix
grandchildren
it.
and my great grandchildren will have to take and figure out how they gonna eat. I want to be able to leave them a legacy here. I
Absolutely.
want to be able to do that. I want to be able to own my own shelter, because I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to be a single parent and you got to work and don't know where your kids at because you thinking they in school and they somewhere in the street. I know what it's like. So my prayer is, Lord, everything I've gone through in life, let it be for an encouragement to somebody else. Don't
Yes.
let me get so high and mighty and so big in my britches that I forget. I'm studying now on how to I've been reading the Bible and I've been praying and I've been saying affirmations on how to become financially successful and how to generate wealth so that I
Mhm.
can pass it on. And the thing
Mhm.
that I'm so glad about is when God began to minister to you and he began to show you the errors of your ways, he opened
Mhm.
you up first and he began to pull things in you and make you aware of some things that's within you that you need to work on so that he can get you to that next level. God is not going to bless you to become a millionaire if he know you can't handle and be faithful with $10. That's
Hello?
out of order. And he's not
Yes.
going to do that. See,
Yes.
anything that God does and how you know it's going to be from God, because he's going to do it in decency
Decent
and in
and in
order.
order, baby.
If you
Woo!
can't take care of an apartment, he ain't going to give you a house and you don't know how to
Okay.
take care of one room. God is not going to bless you with a Mercedes Benz if you don't know how to take care of Volvo. See,
Okay. You
it's
ain't
levels
taking
to
care of
that
that
thing.
station wagon.
That's it. It's levels to this thing. And that's how you know it's from God, because everything he does is in decent and in order. Everything that he
Absolutely.
does, how you know it's gonna be from God, because he gonna take you from one plateau to the next, from one
Yeah.
level to the next level. But you got to be mindful that when you start going to these levels, for every level there's a different devil.
Woo.
And
Jesus.
this thing is not always physical warfare, it's spiritual warfare. So you sometimes you got to deal with people in their spiritual and then start dealing with them in their natural, in their physical.
Woo.
Sometimes we get caught up in trying to cuss people out, and I'm guilty of it. We cuss folks out because at that moment they done caught me at the right day at the wrong time, and I'm gonna
Wrong.
get to them. But see, you got to be able to see that demon that's working in them, that's coming through them. And when you start handling that, bringing that demon down, and when you start calling that demon out, and when you start telling that demon the devil is a lie, you and your wicked demonified friends, family, and foes, y'all might as well go to the pits of hell where I destroy you by fire. Then when you
Woo.
start calling them demons out and you start casting them demons out and destroying them demons, you can ready to go to your next level.
Woo.
So that's how it goes. That's how it works. But the thing of it is, we want to go from on welfare to $1 million next day. And then when we don't get the $1 million the next day, first thing we want to do is get mad, and we get out here and we do illegal things to get it. God is not, he's not blessing you like that, because he got to first make sure he can trust you with it. Then on top of that, everything that God gives us, he gives it to us for, because we are the stewards of the things that he gives us. And primarily it's for us to share with other people. He
Absolutely.
gives us the ability to get up and go to work. But at the end of the day, God requires us to pay our tithes and our first fruit. That's a requirement. A lot of people, and I don't want to get off subject, and I don't want nobody to be offended, because everybody, ain't on that same place and in that same place. They're not there. So I'm just not to offend anybody at all. But it's just, I believe in giving people knowledge and wisdom and sharing my testimony to help other people. So,
I
that's it. We can't, we sometimes, and I'm talking about me. We sit here and, Lord, I just need $200 to pay my light bill. God might be want to give you $5,000 to pay all your bills, but you say,
mhm.
Lord, just bless me with $200 so I can pay my light bill. And
I'm
God
not
said, now,
minimizing my blessings no more.
yes, you can't minimize God.
Uh,
You
I,
cannot.
yes, honey, that's it. I refuse. I used to be, well, if you, I said my blessings are not mediocre. I don't serve a mediocre God. So I'm
That's right.
coming for big things. And when you said spiritual warfare, I had to pick up this book. And this is a spiritual warfare. It says A Woman's Guide to Spiritual Warfare. I've had this book for some years. I remember writing in the back of it. So it says rest, the word rest, REST. I have restoration of everything Satan took.
Mm-hmm.
Then I wrote it down: finances, physical health, peace of mind, stability, understanding, forgiveness, prosperity, guidance, rebuilding, repair, and restore me. Did we not just talk about all that? And
Yeah.
they've been wrote down about 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I am in awe. I am First of all, I'm just so thankful, sister, because this even it helps me. Your testimony helps me, because sometimes I'd be like, "Am I the only one that's out here feeling like, you know?" No, I'm not the only one. So when I get on here and I be like, I know it ain't just me. I
Mm-hmm.
know it's got to be for some more people. And I used to get discouraged, like, well, maybe it ain't reaching enough. But
It's
even if
reaching.
it's just one,
Yeah.
my God, on today, I pulled this up. I wanted to show this with you here. I found this when you were talking. And you are on the website, metaplus.gov. It speaks of, I don't want to say it wrong,
Children's show
children
and dreams.
from. Okay. So it's like a SH, but it's SJ.
Yeah.
Okay. I get
Like
it.
children.
Okay. So on this website, you all, it tells you of Sjogren's syndrome. It tells you exactly what Tanya was explaining. Up at the top here, it talks about the dry mouth. The condition typically develops gradually, beginning in the middle of adulthood, but can occur at any age. So this is where it shows you again. Let me scroll down a little bit, you all, because Sister said she was doing some research. So here is some. If you all choose to take a look at it, it tells you even here the causes. We don't know what causes it. It says that it's thought to be a result from a combination of genetic and environmental factors. However, and there's no association between specific genetic changes and all this other information that is here. I think that our lack of knowledge is what keeps us in bondage, because we don't
Mm-hmm.
go to look to find out information
Mm-hmm.
about other things. It's just, oh, if I don't know about it, oh well. But a lot of these things we need to seek the information to try to find out more about. So now you've changed. I had no idea you changed your page. Now I knew your name was different on your page, but I didn't know you had changed it to professional mode. So now it's in professional mode as far as
Mhm.
followers and all of that stuff to go
Mhm.
towards getting monetized. So you
Mhm.
guys, if you all are not following Tanya, you need to make sure that you follow her on Facebook. Okay. If someone can put her page in the chat so I could pin it below, that would be great because this is something that I want to make sure that I turn my notifications on. I want to be in support of you and everything that you do. And I didn't even know you was a minister. I mean, I had no
I
idea.
I don't want no. I look. You do. Can you see this?
Uh huh. Your cheek. Uh huh.
You see this?
Yeah.
You see the swelling?
Yeah. Uh huh.
That's the shoulders.
Okay.
It starts right here at my ear and it goes all the way down
Uh huh.
and it's swollen.
I could see. Yeah.
All that right down.
Uh huh.
That's the shoulders.
Wow.
And the ultimate goal is to make sure that the swelling does not become hard.
Okay.
That's the reason why I have to. I don't eat ice because it hurts my teeth. My teeth are sensitive, but I have to have sour candy. You know,
Mm.
my son, he lemon heads, anything that's sour,
Mm.
because it keeps the saliva. It's like it shocks the my saliva gland,
Uh
and
huh.
it keeps it wet, and my mouth will start getting wet and lubricated. If this swelling,
Uh
if
huh.
it ever becomes hard, then it could, and I'm saying it very lightly, it could be lymphoma.
Okay.
So, as long as, and one of the things that I have to be very, whatever my triggers are, whatever stress me out, I have to, and that's the reason why, part of my treatment is that I have a psychiatrist and a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want nobody to feel like I'm crazy, or I don't want, because I know that the bushwashers are in here, but I'm gonna say this: if you and the wicked demonified devil that you operating in cannot touch me. No weapons formed against me and everyone that's on the sound of my voice. You will not take control over. You will not mimic or make fun of me and my illness.
Amen.
And if you do raise up your tongue against me, the fire in hell will consume you.
Woo.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Do not play with me about my illness. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't, because my life is on the line and I have something to live for. So don't make fun of me. Don't talk about me. It looked like I got my one side of my face is swollen on the other side. This side is smaller, this side is large, and that's where the swelling is. So please, I some days that's something that bothers me as well, because the way I look. And some days I look in the mirror and I'm learning how to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, is to make sure that I'm not stressed out. I'm not upset about, if I get upset, I have to, bring myself down,
Mm-hmm.
because stress with even with fibromyalgia could cause me to have a flare up.
Yeah. You
And
know.
them flare ups is not something easy to go over. They sometimes you could be sick for a day, two
Mhm.
days, you could be sick for months.
I think people
So
don't understand that. They look at stress and be like, "Oh, it's nothing." The reason why stress is the number one killer is because it triggers everything.
mhm,
Stress can trigger stroke, heart attack, high blood
mhm,
pressure, whatever illness flares up, whatever you had go on before. And I literally just recently talked about this, like, yo, well, this morning I'm like, I gotta rearrange some of these things. You know what I'm saying? I got to protect myself from things that trigger me.
Mm-hmm.
Because once I'm there, I'm there. Okay, it's like uh, I come back when I'm ready, and that's my honesty. Once I am there, I come back when I'm ready to come back. Sometimes I'm okay with sitting there
And
because
see,
at least I know what there feel like. I know what to expect in there.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It
And
is
see
not too
that's when I first, excuse me, when I first was diagnosed. When I tell you my stress level was so up, my doctor told me, she said, "You're gonna have to get yourself together. You're gonna have to calm down because what's getting ready to happen, diabetes, hypertension,
mm,
heart attack is not gonna take you up out of here. That's stress is. Because the stress is so bad that it's attacking your body. And your
mm,
body is already weak because you're dealing with two autoimmune diseases. Plus, you already have sleep apnea. Plus, you got other stuff that's going on. So, this stress, you're going to have to come out that stress. You're going to have to find a plateau somewhere where you can just, some things you can't do nothing about.
mm,
If your house is not clean, get somebody to help you
to help you.
because you getting upset. It's no medicine that we can give you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna help you.
Do it right.
It's not you're gonna have to calm down. You're gonna have to come off that stress.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever acting the fool, they let them act the fool. If they don't want to do right, go get into bed and lay down because that
Mm-hmm.
stress is what's getting ready to take you up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You got to calm down. And I had to go back to my first love. See, one thing about God, you can get so far out there, but how you know that you want to hear? Because no matter how far out there you get, He gonna bring you right on back.
Gonna
And
bend
that's
the
what
clock
God.
back on Jesus,
He
baby.
gonna bring you right on back. And that's what He did. You know, that's the reason why what Psalm 23 said, the Lord is my shepherd, because a shepherd protects his flock. And
Uh,
when you get so far out there that you get out of the will of God and you think that you gonna do it your way, He gonna bring you right on back. So I had to come back and I
yeah.
had to realize and get my faith back and get me back together spiritually and say, you know what, Tanya, bring you already know this thing
Mm-hmm.
right here, you already know. So bring your tail right on back here and sit your butt down and get yourself together.
You
Because
come
ain't no
back
need,
like this.
so there are some days that I can't wash dishes. There are some days I can't sweep the floor. There are some days where the only thing I can do is lay in the bed. That's my new normal now. And I'm learning to live with it. I don't, people, girl, you need to get up out that bed. Girl, you gonna be all right, honey. That's what no doctor said. That no, this what I got to do for me. See, I'm learning how to protect my peace. I'm
Ooh,
learning how to put me as a priority and not an
yes.
option. If I
Yes.
can't be celebrated, I don't want to be around nobody that can be tolerated.
Yeah.
It's my time. Even
Yes.
through my sickness, and I'm not saying that arrogantly because I'm gonna still be there for who I can be there for. You know what I'm saying? But I'm learning how
I
to
don't want
put
who wants
me.
to be tolerated. Ah,
There are some people that they accept being tolerated. I want to be celebrated. This is my
yes.
celebrated season. No
Yes.
matter this is my time of celebration. I don't know about nobody else want to be. I've been tolerated all my life, basically.
Hello.
People just tolerate me. You sit at the table and people hee and ha ha with you, and they just tolerate you. Then when you can go to the bathroom, you become the subject of the table. The devil is a lie. I don't sit there and play that party too many times. No, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, 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 no. If I can't be celebrated, if you can't love on me, I don't need to be around you. And that could
Yeah.
be the dog, cat, rat, mama, baby, daddy, sad, whoever. I'm
Whoever.
sorry.
Yes. I totally agree. I really, really true come on with it, all the way with it. It is something how a little conversation will holds a lot of knowledge, a lot of knowledge. I'm in awe of your strength, and it'd be a strength you wouldn't even know until it's time to know. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I think that humans complain too much, and then when they hear testimonies, it almost humbles them. See,
Yeah.
people think that they're meant to go through to keep it a secret. No, you're meant to go through to show how great he is. That we're supposed to share. I don't know who made up this rule, like you ain't supposed to share things that you go through and come out of. It is very much so necessary. because it's somebody going through and don't know whether they're going to come out, be in, how long. That is a form of encouragement to me. I believe that it is a way that, okay, you're wondering why I use you. I'm not going to show you, but you will know as you age, or as some of the things you go through, you probably now be like, okay, now I know why that happened in 1992. I didn't know in 92 because in 92 I was too busy wondering what 2022 was going to be like instead
There
of
you
living
go.
in that moment. A lot of us
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. And I'm just like, if y'all don't mind, I want to see what affirmations might come up in this moment. It's
I
up
don't
to you.
mind.
You don't
I,
mind?
I ain't got nowhere to go.
Okay. I'm
I ain't
just
got
up
nowhere to
here
go.
like, woo,
I just
woo,
go from chair to chair till I can get comfortable in
woo.
one chair. I jump in another chair.
All right, let's see. Let's see where we go with it.
When the Lord comes to minister to you, to speak into your life circumstances, He will come in a way that is not the way you expect. Why? Because His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. As high as the heavens are above the earth, that's how high His ways and His thoughts are above our own. And what I attempt to do, what you often attempt to do, I'm sure, is to dumb Him down so that His ways match our ways. His thoughts match our thoughts. We want Him to answer our prayers the way we've prayed them. We want the
Mm-hmm.
solutions that work out in our minds to be the solutions that will be best given the scenario that we see, given the prayer requests that we've prayed. But y'all, sometimes we pray for growth and He answers with rain. Sometimes
Hmm.
we pray for oak trees and He answers with an acorn. When the Lord comes to minister to you, to speak into your life circumstances, He will come in a way that is not the way you expect. Why? Because His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. As high as the heavens are above the earth, that's how high His ways and His thoughts are above our own. And what I attempt to do, what you often attempt to do, I'm sure, is to dumb Him down so that His ways match our ways. His thoughts match our thoughts. We want Him to answer our prayers the way we've prayed them. We want the solutions that work out in our minds to be the solutions that will be best given the scenario that we see, given the prayer requests that we've prayed. But y'all, sometimes we pray for growth and He
Mm.
answers with rain.
Yes, He do.
Sometimes we pray for oak trees and He answers with an acorn. Whoever is informing you about your situation, make sure they have faith a part of the equation. This is why you can't listen to your girlfriend or your boyfriend actually listening to God. Because God will tell you something that He's already given you. And He sends somebody else to bring you a report back. And depending if they have faith in their own life, they will project on you what they think God will do for them. And He's already said He'll do it for you. And if you believe them, you will stay stuck.
Mentally strong people are always ready to embrace change. I sense, prophesy, and speak into your life that a change is coming in your direction. Everybody just type in the chat, change. Change is coming. Change to your finances, change to your mentality, change to your heart's posture, change to the way you process information, change. And it's going to be a welcome change. Why? Because you're not going to practice self-pity. You won't be holding on to grudges. You won't be talking negatively to yourself. You're going to embrace change. Isaiah 43:18 is a scripture that I want to read to you. And here's what the Bible says. Remember not the former things. I don't know who I'm talking to, but you need to learn how to forget.
Mm-hmm.
He says, remember not the former things. And here's my favorite part. And neither consider the things of old. Not only am I not going to remember it, I'm not even going to think about it. I'm not even going to think about it. It's over. My father used to say, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. The only gift you have is the present, which is why it's called the present. Yesterday is a canceled check. Tomorrow is a promissory note, or like money you haven't gotten. The only thing you have is today. That's why you have to stay in the present. Mentally strong people are always ready.
Okay. We done talked about mental health. We talked
Mhm.
about the first sister, and in the. I'm gonna let him come
Ready
again.
to embrace change. I
Amen. Lord.
sense, prophesy, and speak into your life that a change is coming in your direction. Everybody just type in the chat change. Change is coming.
Change.
Change to your finances, change to your mentality, change to your heart's posture, change to the way you process information, change. And it's going to be a welcome change. Why? Because you're not going to practice self-pity. You won't be holding on to grudges. You won't be talking negatively to yourself. You're going to embrace change. Isaiah 43:18 is a scripture that I want to read to you. And here's what the Bible says. Remember not the former things. I don't know who I'm talking to, but you need to learn how to forget. He says, remember not the former things. And here's my favorite part. And neither consider the things of old. Not only am I not going to remember it, I'm not even going to think about it. I'm not even going to think about it. It's over. My father used to say, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. The only gift you have is the present, which is why it's called the present. Yesterday is a canceled check. Tomorrow is a promissory note, or like money you haven't gotten. The only thing you have is today. That's why you have to stay in the present mentally.
I can only say praise God because I don't have words to explain. I just know when he's talking to me, just like I would think that everybody else would know when they hear a word from God for themselves. Um, I thank you so much, sister, for sharing. And if it's anything else that you would like to share with us, I'm open for that. But I truly, truly appreciate you. And we all do want to make sure that we support sister um on her page. So I'm gonna be quiet and I'm gonna let you say something if you'd like before we close.
I really don't have anything. If you can support me on my page, I greatly appreciate it. If you want to send me stars, I appreciate it. I'm just gonna, however, any type of support. For
Hmm.
those that know how to reach out to me, I thank you so much for taking the time to just think about me. Even with you, Nick, I thank you for this opportunity. Um,
So,
a lot of people don't know I'm kind of shy, but
what?
a lot of people don't know I'm kind of shy. But I'm growing out of that. Even when I used to minister at my church, it took a long time for me to come from the back. And
Hmm.
my pastor at that time, she used to always tell me, I'm gonna get you out that back. You always want to sit in the back. You want to work from the back. God don't want you in the back. He wants you in the front because that's where you belong. But I used to run to the back. And then they, at the church, they had me doing the announcements, and it went from announcements to ministering. And I'm not a type person that limelight. I don't. I'm very prideful, and that's the area that God is working on me with.
Hmm.
uh, I'm so I could be needing someone and I won't tell nobody. I'm just timid in a lot of areas. So I just ask people to keep me lifted in prayer because some days I still battle. I'm human. I still battle. Um, and there are some days that just a phone call, a text message, it's encouraging.
All it take, yeah.
And I'm not saying every day or everybody has sympathy, empathy for me. No, because I'm strong. I'm strong-willed and strong-minded, very
Hmm.
much so. But I will say that I just thank you for the opportunity. I'm gonna speak out more about it because there's different levels. There's so much that I can talk about. We'll be talking all night. Because I do want to share my story about, when I was sexually abused and molested.
Mm-hmm.
I want to reach out to other young girls. I want to talk to women about infidelity, when you're married and how you deal with that. And, I was a nagging wife. I'm keeping it 100. I was a nagging wife. I was looking for a husband to be like my dad, and I was trying to be like my mama. But I realized that my mom and dad, when they got married, is different than the time that I got married. I learned a lot as a wife, but it took me to lose my husband for God to open me up and show me as a nagging wife. And I had to take accountability because I didn't, at that time I was really in the church and I was hiding behind a title. And I forgot that, with my husband, he was still a street man. So I was trying so hard to win him over to bring him out the street that I lost him to the streets. And that's, because you have to be, you have to put things in priority, but that's a different, whole nother different testimony. There's so many testimonies that I got. So I do want to come back, I do want to share some other things. Whenever you want me to come, I'm willing, whatever you need me to do to help with RoAsia, I'm willing to help.
So I
I'm
appreciate
willing to help.
you. I appreciate you. And I'm looking at y'all comments, and I want to tell y'all, I just show up because I know that's what I'm supposed to do. Right. And all I can do is give y'all who I am. I can't mask me because then I'm not living in my truth to appease man. And I refuse to do that. I've already been down that road many, many moons ago. And I'm not living in that space anymore. So, I mean, with my shortcomings, my tall comings, my in the middle comings, I choose different, better for me, but just a better version of who I am. So, change again. The pastor just said,
Change.
mentally strong people, they're open for change. Just like the mental strong know that, the devil know it too. So I
That's
would
true.
definitely keep you in prayer, sister. I plan to see you bend the block all the time. And I do know that if when I don't see you, one of the sisters is letting me know about you. I truly, genuinely care about you. I know that soon I'll be able to get me a big old hug and honey
Most definitely.
pictures and all that. So I do thank you. I'm always open for whatever. What I will say is we can also come to your platform as well because if you're trying to grow to monetization, then you need those minutes. It don't always have to be over here. If you plan to do a live, we can all come over there and we can watch and we can do it that way, however you want to do it. Because you stuck with me. I ain't going nowhere.
Okay, no problem at all. If do anybody have any questions or
Do you guys
anything?
have any questions for Tanya? They were sent, but this little bug getting on my nerves. My little money tree. They lucky I'm really believing some money finna come up out that tree, cause baby. Does anybody have any questions? If you do, I see they're saying thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Tanya, for your testimony. Pauline's giving the hearts. There's someone, one of the sisters lost a loved one. She
Oh
lost a loved
goodness.
one. I think she said her father. I'm sorry for your loss, sister. But you all, what we really want to do is to let me see. Don't want to leave this live without telling you that I felt this and I'm praying with you. Oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
This Karen says she's gonna find your page. Joanna said thank you for sharing. Patricia Wilson, how do we get to your page? I think somebody put it in the chat. Well, actually, when Tanya comes off the screen, if she types it, it's under her name. So when she comes back in the chat, it'll actually show. So if you type, if she make a comment and then I pin it at the bottom, here it is. Here it is. Thank you, Pauline. So that's how you find her. All you have to do is tap the link below, and then that'll be her page, and you will have no problem. Just hit the like and follow, like everything else. You all follow, and sharing is free. Teresa said, "Thank you so
Yeah.
much."
If
Um,
they can share, I definitely. If they can share this, I definitely. Because I want to grow my page. So that I can get
mhm,
monetized.
mhm. So if you
Um,
all haven't shared, please share this video. Please share it out. Annette just followed. Yes, Miss Tanya's surgeon's journey. Yes,
my
that's the
surgeon journey. Yes.
mm-hmm. That's it. Brother Shot said, "Good job, sis." Lakai,
Love bug.
thank you
You and
for
your 1,000 cats.
thank you for sharing. Okay, she's following now. Just shared. Pat just followed. So we're gonna grow together. We're gonna
Yes,
grow
I
together.
appreciate it. I
Absolutely,
appreciate.
sister. Absolutely.
I appreciate.
And I think you're a lot like me. I tend, if I need something, I don't say nothing.
I don't say nothing.
And I'm gonna pray for both of us in that area. I tend to believe if I just take it to him, then he will put it on the heart of one of his children.
Well, the reason why and I'm not gonna, my mouth getting dry. I'm not gonna blast them out, but there is someone that's in that has blessed me, and
Mhm.
I'm so grateful. I'm not gonna put them on blast,
Okay.
but I don't like asking people for nothing, and it's just being transparent because I was at a time where I used to ask people for stuff, and I
Mm-hmm.
thought that they really loved it and was genuinely helping me,
Mm-hmm.
but they wasn't. So and this person, I looked at them as being like a sister to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they knew everything about me, including the side drawers that I wear,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of stuff. They were doing to. Sometimes when people help you, it's the way that they do it from the wrong motives, and
Yeah.
that burnt me. So
Yeah. I
I
think
just
that's
don't.
where.
If a
Mm-hmm.
person want to help me,
Yeah,
financially,
just do it.
monetary wise, I won't ask. I
Oh,
just won't. I just won't.
absolutely.
I just won't.
So
And I
Lolaine
mean,
says she's gonna help share too. She got the video in the group, so she's gonna help with your platform, with the growth, to share your platform as well.
thank you, Lolaine. I appreciate you, girl. I
I think
appreciate
you
you.
all are like so awesome. Again, we want to make sure we follow. We can find out information regarding Sturgeon's disease from Tanya, as well
Hmm.
as educate yourself. It may be some things that you all can find and bring to Tanya's attention that maybe she didn't know about. It don't just take a village for the kids. It takes a village with us adults too.
I'm
And,
gonna
mhm,
one of the things that I'm gonna do every day is to share my journey as far as how I'm feeling. Because like I said, each day is a different day. There are some days I wake up and I'm just as crazy as a bat out of hell. Some
mhm,
days I wake up and I'm hellish because if I haven't slept all night, when I do decide to go to sleep and I wake back up, I'm aggravated because I'm sleepy and I'm tired. Well, I done
mhm,
tossed and turned all night, or I've been in pain all night. So I
mhm,
said that I'm going to start journaling because one day I want to write a book. And so, you'll find out I'm going to share a lot of different information when I go to the doctor, my test results.
mhm.
I just want people to know.
You know what I think is a good idea for you? I was on the tip of my brain. I was looking on social media one day and I saw this young lady and she lives with an illness. And not only does she journal, it's like a camera on in the morning that just
Mm-hmm,
shows her and then she edits it. I think that would be great when you say every day is different. You
mm-hmm,
know, even if you wake up with a headache or whatever state you wake up in, and then how the day ends. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? I think that would be great to add as part of what you add to your platform. I really do.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, because it's just so I want to start back cooking because I that's one of the things I love to do is cook.
Mm-hmm.
I like for people to come to my house and sit down and eat. I haven't been cooking because some days it be difficult, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just so much of me that I just want to share with other people.
Yeah.
I just so much of me because I just want to love on people because I know what it's like. I for some reason I gravitate to the black sheeps and the rejected and the people that nobody else, want to deal with. I like to go in the hood and get that crack addict out and talk to that crack addict. And when I
Mm-hmm.
was in the hotel, it was so many people, in the hotel that I was in, it was a lot of drug addicts and crackheads and people that was, doing all types of drugs, prostitutes. And those people used to come to me and they used to love on me. They used to, in that hotel, it wasn't even a 1-star hotel. It was a half a star hotel, but that was what I call home for the moment. But when
Mm-hmm.
I just love on all those people that was in the hotel. Whenever they need something to eat, I would feed them. Whenever they, need advice, they come sit down and talk to me. I eat one young lady, she even left her baby with me because she was going to jail. And I
Oh,
see about the baby like it was one of my grandbabies. So that's just who I am. That's me by my nature.
mm-hmm.
That's, not fake and phony. I'm not that. If I love you, I love you. Even if I don't like you, I'm gonna still love you. I'm
Still
gonna
love
still
you.
speak life to you.
Yeah.
You know, that's just who I am. And I don't like for nobody to be mistreated that I love. I'm very protective, but
Mm-hmm.
that's just me. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna keep talking and keep talking and keep talking. But
You are right, but I do think that those are some good ideas, and the fact that you want to share is the blessing. Really, a
yeah,
lot of people don't even have it in them to be this open and share. It does take a lot. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself in a vulnerable place. But I
yeah,
think God is pleased because where there's knowledge, there's power. And
that's
where
true.
two or three come together in agreement, they say he be listening.
He do be in the midst. He do be in the midst.
So, I love you, sister, with my whole
Love
heart.
you
I
too.
thank you so much for sharing. And we will talk for a minute in the comments. I'm gonna let Tanya get back in the comments, but I appreciate y'all for being here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you guys for being supportive.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sis. I'm
all
finna step down.
so much. And thank you, sister, for being here. What I did. Oops, hold on. Oops. Here we go. I think she is so awesome. I think she is so awesome. It'd be a pleasure to talk to you and let you vent in the midnight hour. Oh, bro. Brother Shah, you are awesome. I am I am really, really I just appreciate y'all. I really do appreciate you all. I thank you, sister, for sharing. I will always have a space where we gonna come and we gonna talk about anything that is conducive to you all. Cause me, I'm it's nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing for me to do this. It really isn't. I believe that I am, and I've always been one of his special ones. I'm gonna say that. I just had to get to a point where I knew it. So I thank you guys. I thank you guys. I love you guys on purpose, of course, with so much purpose. I have not eaten today. I have not ate. I did go and get me a salad. So what I'm going to do now is have my salad and then I'm gonna go over to finish up some orders for the things that have to ship out tomorrow. But again, thank you so much, my sister. Thank you so much. You all have the ability to go and like and follow. I mean, it's really simple. We can help sister out in any kind of way possible. She's a lemon head lover like me. I love lemon heads too, sister. I saw that in the chat. Sister love her some lemon heads. So again, I want to thank you for sharing with us. I'm always here, and when I'm not here in front of here, somebody will get me, you know. So I appreciate you guys. I do love you all, honestly and truly. Even the ones that don't like me, I love them because I have to, not because I want to. And that's just my honesty. But I'll see you guys. I don't think I will be coming back on today. It's already almost 6 o'clock my time. I will see you all in the morning tomorrow. It's Tuesday. I'll see you all in the morning. I think I'm gonna listen to some affirmations. I may watch a couple of Wake Up with RoAsia's while I eat my salad, and I'm going to rewatch this live as well. So, thank you guys so much. Again, thank you, Sister Tanya, for sharing your journey with us. You all can go to, you can actually Google Sjogren's disorder, disease. It will come up in so many ways for you to see if it's any information that you think would be helpful to send you a few, bro, that will be helpful to Tanya, then we want to send it to a sister. I keep you encouraged. I will definitely keep you lifted in prayer. I honestly, truly believe that God don't make no mistakes, and that the things that we have went through are definitely part of the things that we go through are definitely, there's purpose in what's ahead of us. That's the best way for me to explain that. I don't have any other way to explain it. I look at my life right now and I say, well, God, if I had an option to do it all over again, if you saw fit, I guess I'd do it all over again. That's where I am right now. I really am taking control of the things that trigger me, because I will tell you all this before we go. Stress is of the enemy. I'm a firm believer in processing things, but try not to allow them to overwhelm you. Because when we're overwhelmed by it, that is when that demon comes in and just has its way. You have to begin to, it's levels to protecting your peace, even for me. Okay? And I'm beginning to practice them. I choose not to overwhelm myself. I'm still working on understanding I can't control everything. I can only do what I can. I think I will work on that for the rest of my life. But I'm in a better space in that area now than I was some years back. So I'll chat with you guys in these internet streets, okay? If you guys wouldn't mind to continue to share the RoAsia Foundation, we have Giving Tuesday. Right now, we don't have the stars or anything. If you want to contribute to the fashion show, whatever the case may be, you all know how to get in touch with anybody on by message, by email, however, and I will get back to you, or someone will get back to you. So I love you guys on purpose, with so much purpose. And with that being said, I'm gonna go eat my salad. I'm gonna go eat my salad and mind my business. Okay, I love you guys. Bye, y'all.